this video I will share with you 12 obvious signs he deeply loves you. Before we get started, please like, share, comment and subscribe for more great content. Also click the link below in the description. Let's jump in. How do you know if a man loves you deeply even if he doesn't say it? How do you know if he cares about you and wants to make you happy? What are the signs a man's love for you is real? Whatever your questions, the answers are all in this list of sure signs he truly loves you, and he could be the one. I know what you're thinking right now. Why would you trust me? I am a student in the school of life, just like you, but there are two things I know for sure. How it looks not to be loved. How it feels to be loved. In this video, you will find out what the true signs your man loves you are, and I suggest you use it as a checklist. Share in the comments below how many points your man got. The most precious relationship advice you will ever get. If one day I have a daughter, there's one thing I would like to teach her about love and men. Only be with a man who acts according to his words. A real man stands behind his words, and his words make him a man. This is something I know from my father, and this is something my soon-to-be husband practices every single day ever since I met him. A man who doesn't respect his own words won't respect mine either. Sadly enough, that's proved to be true in painful ways in the past. I will get back to this later on, but for now, let's list all of the sure signs he loves you deeply, and he is serious about you. 1. He deeply loves you when he makes time for you. Life gets busier and busier nowadays. It's hard to keep up with everything around: work, friends, appointments, obligations to go here and there or to do this and that. We are used to being told that plans have changed, meetings are postponed, and dates get cancelled. But not with your man. He always finds the time to see you and to spend time with you. If he has to cancel other plans or rearrange his schedule to see you even for 5 minutes, he will do it. When my fiancé and I met, we were living almost an hour apart from one another. I was still a new driver and didn't feel comfortable driving too often, so he was the one coming to my town twice a week to see each other. He would stay just for an hour and then drive back to his place early enough to get enough sleep before work. He used to wake up at 4 a.m. for work. He never missed a date, never postponed it, and even though I was suggesting him to skip the date and sleep, he would still come, just to have a few minutes, with me. If a man loves you, he will find a way and make the time to be with you. Trust me on this one. 2. He makes you feel safe and protected. I realized this was something typical for all men after I read Steve Harvey's book, Think Like a Man, Act Like a Woman, a few months ago. Undoubtful sign a man loves you, even if he doesn't say it, is when he makes you feel safe. That's one of his main priorities. Ignore the evolution, men never got over the point to claim and protect his woman, and I'm glad for that. Example for that is him talking with you on the phone while you're walking home at night, just because he's still at work or out of town, otherwise he would walk by your side. To feel safe is a basic need we all have, and even if you have a black belt in some hard-to-pronounce Japanese martial art, you will want a man by your side you could feel safe with. He will hold your hand while walking through a crowd, so he doesn't lose you. He won't walk ahead, and you wouldn't have to run to keep up with him, but he will be by your side in every possible way. Now, that's a sign he loves you deeply. 3. When he loves you, he keeps his promises. It's time to go back to what I already mentioned about a man and his word. A man who keeps his promises is a man who respects himself and the people around him. He will say he'll come to your place at 7 p.m. and he will come around this time. He will promise you he will fix the sink and he will do it in less than 6 months. Now you know he respects himself, his time, and he respects you and your time. He is someone you could count on, and that means he loves you. 4. You met his friends and family. A man who loves you is a man who wants you in his life. He not only makes sure you are safe, keeps his promises and makes time for you, but he loves to show off with you. He is happy with his choice of a woman and cannot wait to introduce you to his family and friends. He secretly craves to see the woman he loves getting along with all other people in his life. No man will introduce you to his mom if he doesn't know he wants you in his life for a very long time. If you already met his parents and siblings, and regularly go out with his friends, yes, he loves you and doesn't mind showing it to everyone. 5. The man who loves you enjoys your craziness. We, women, are all a little bit crazy. Some more than others. And I talk about the silly moments when you need to express yourself loud, laugh a lot and jump around like a child. A man who loves you will enjoy these moments, and smile even if the day didn't go well by this point. Moreover, you won't feel shy to be this crazy little girl around him simply because he encourages you to be this way. A sign he loves you is when he wants to see you laughing and being happy, excessively energized and inspired to live. Your man knows he is part of this happiness too. 6. He avoids judging you when you go. The other crazy side of you. Alright, girls, it's time to talk honestly about those days of the month. 75% of us suffer from PMS and 20% to 40% experience real-life struggles thanks to this. I am one of them. And if you are anything like me, you relate to the following things. You know you are B****ch for a few days, and you are aware of everything you say and do, and it's wrong. However, the control seems to be out of your hands, and it's not like you don't try really hard to be normal. All this makes you feel guilty and angry at yourself, which makes things worse. Our men take us home with the full package. It's the same way when we marry them. We know we say yes to many things we wouldn't usually agree with, like picking socks from all around the house for the rest of your life. A man who loves you may not understand why the sweet girl that loves cuddling and kisses him all the time turns into storming ticking bomb that sits quietly in the corner and waits for him to mess up the wires. He may not understand it, but he must accept it and finds his way around it. I know that's too much to ask from him, but if he doesn't keep up with the worst of you, why would you be bothered to show him the best? That's something Marilyn Monroe said, not me. If, instead of snapping back at you, your guy smiles and says, "Oh, one of those days, huh?" or just ignores your craziness and tries to stay away from you for a few hours, that's a sign he's ready to fight for you, and he loves you. I am amazed by the way my partner handles this day or two every month. He just starts making jokes of me until I start laughing, and then he says he loves me and leaves me alone to deal with myself in peace. When I'm me again, I crawl back into his arms and we live happily ever after. Or until the next month. Disclaimer, let me mention that there's a difference between grumpy for a few days and making him pay for every single thing he might do in the next 10 years. The first one is acceptable and manageable, the second one might be a sign of hormonal disbalance, and I would advise you talking to your GP. 7. He supports your dreams. I wouldn't even try to imagine my life with someone who doesn't support my dreams. It must be very hard to feel the pressure to choose between the person you love and the thing you feel you're meant to do. Following that trail, I could say that the person you are meant to be with would support your dreams. And if he cannot support them financially, no obligations, he will encourage you to keep doing what makes you happy. You see, no matter who is in your life, if it's a partner or a parent, true love's first indication is letting you follow your path, whatever that means. And that's the best sign your guy loves you deeply. 8. He appreciates your advice. And he appreciates it even if he doesn't follow it. A man who likes not only your body but your mind too as a keeper. He wants you fully involved in his life, and asking for your opinion is an essential part of it. A sign he loves you isn't the fact he follows your advice, but the fact he listens to you while giving it and takes it into consideration. Us, women, often tend to believe that if a man doesn't follow what we say he doesn't appreciate us. At the same time, by denying his right to choose, we disrespect him. Remember this next time you give advice he doesn't want to follow. 9. When he loves you he treats you like a lady. Placing rose petals under your feet might not be his thing, but your man treats you like a lady. You feel nourished and respected. He kisses your forehead, holds your hand and gently touches you. He simply loves you even if he doesn't say it. The sweet feeling you're treated like a princess isn't something I could explain, but if you are treated as such, you know what I'm talking about. You are his lady, and he looks after you. He is gentle, listens to you, respects you, hugs you often and kisses your hand now and then. You, my dear, are a lady in his eyes, and I could only congratulate you for your choice of a man. Keep him, there aren't many left out there. 10. The compromises come from both sides. I've never been a fan of compromises. The truth is, I believe that when two people love each other truly and walk into the same direction in life, there's not much room left for compromise, or at least you wouldn't feel it as such. And while I am strongly against big compromises such as should you get married or not, should you have children or not, support each other's careers or not, I know the small ones are part of couples' everyday life. Therefore, a huge sign your man loves you is when you see the compromises don't come from your side only. We, women, often like to sacrifice our happiness in the name of man's happiness and prefer to make ourselves uncomfortable, but to spare him the pain. And while I know many ladies argue this, they make the same choices daily. Nothing wrong with that. Love is not something that must be comfortable. Love is a journey, and just like every journey, it has its challenges. However, you know you are not the only one that compromises, and that's a true sign your guy loves you deeply. Men never willingly compromise their comfort unless it's worth the outcome. Or the person they do it for. They are logical beings, and that makes it easier for us to know why they do what they do. 11. He wants everything with you and you both walk towards it. Pretty nice, huh? A man who loves you deeply and wants you undoubtedly in his life doesn't need to think twice what's the next step. If he wants a future with you, he lets you know it. You both create your dreams and build your future together in a way to suit both of you. An obvious sign a man loves you is when he wants you to be in his life, so he asks you to move in with him. If you already live together, he waits for the perfect time to ask you to marry him. He talks about children if these are things you both want, and isn't shy in drawing imaginary pictures of your dream home on the ceiling above your bed. That's a man who loves you, my dear. 12. You didn't really need to watch this video to know if he loves you deeply. The last one of my top signs your man loves you is that you already know it. You know he loves you. Not because he tells it to you every 5 minutes, although you like the sound of it, but because you feel it with every cell in your body. His love for you screams through his eyes, flows into your veins every time he touches you. His hug is so comforting that you would gladly die right there and then. He fights for you. He fights for your love. He fights for your happiness. He claims his feelings in every decision he makes about his life. It's just there. And you know it. I know it too. Okay, he loves you and that's awesome. How do you express your love for him? Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day.